Well, I guess all of our questions are answered, at least insofar as what happened and what the intention was with the BART shooting. Because the cop who murdered the unarmed, defenseless man at the transit station has been arrested, and he has been charged with murder. The district attorney says that all of the evidence that they have points to the fact that this was deliberate murder. So now, I guess we have our questions answered as far as, was it a mistaken a mistake on his part between a taser and a gun? Was there some other thing going on that we did not know about? Apparently not. Apparently we're all correct in our assumptions, those of us who have pointed to the fact that this probably was a deliberate act of deliberate murder. This apparently is what the state believes as well, which I am highly surprised by. But he turned himself in, and he came in quietly. There was no resisting of arrest, and he's being transferred. I think he was in Arizona or Nevada. Well, he's out of state anyway, and they brought him in. So he's being charged with murder, deliberate murder, causing the death of another person on purpose. So there goes all of the pleadings of everybody who would come to the defense of the cops in this instance. Now, I have said before, and I will say it again, that no one can make a blanket statement and say that all cops are bad. But anyone that would stand by and let this happen is just as guilty as those who would do it themselves. And I would think that all the good cops out there should step forward and say that they do not condone this type of behavior and in fact condemn it. But the fact that they don't do so says a lot about what the police force has become everywhere in this country. Israel is shelling a United Nations compound, claiming that the little tiny Estes rockets that Hamas is shooting into Israel are coming from there. And of course, this would ordinarily garner fucking outrage around the world, but instead, it barely gets a mention in the fucking news. Because, of course, in the United States, all of the propaganda is pro-Israel, and there's practically no talk about any other side in this issue whatsoever. It is all Israel is the victim, and always has been, and always will be. And all of those people, the Palestinians, walled off in their ghettos, they brought it all on themselves because they allow Hamas to fire their little toy rockets into Israel, and because they democratically voted the fuckers into office. So, I guess if people are dissatisfied with Obama around the world, they should come over here, wall off the United States, and start shelling us until we get rid of the present fucking administration when it takes over. Or maybe they could have done it with President Bush. Jobless rate climbs, market continues to fall. And I think this bodes well for, bodes ill for 2009. So if you can find some safe havens for investing, I suggest you do so, and quickly. And finally, housing has still not seen the bottom drop out of it yet. I'm still seeing little hints and bits and pieces of information come forward which indicate that there is still a bigger fall to come within the housing industry. And even though we've had a bailout of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and all of these other financial institutions when it comes to the mortgage problem, I think there is still some current of underlying unease in that market, and I think we may see a new eruption of problems within it. I don't know whether it's going to be this year, but it's going to be sometime soon, so watch out for that. And again, we're in for one hell of a ride in 2009. Thank you. Good night.